I'm sorry for being too white. Video by Abba and Preach. So let's go ahead and chime in on this topic, man. It will explain itself as we go. So let's dive in.
There was a recent thing that unfolded on the Twitch platform involving Asmongold, who's right now probably one of the biggest streamers in the world.
For sure.
Vanilla Mix and QT Cinderella.
I'm not going to change, though. I'm not going to.
QT
I will never
Cinderella.
believe that if I'm kind
Okay.
to a hateful person, that means I agree with them. I will.
She said she refuses to believe if I'm kind to a hateful person, that means I agree with them. Okay, let's see where we go from here.
Never believe that. No matter what you guys say, I won't believe it, because
I'm kind
at the end of the
to a
day,
hateful
if I'm
person.
around a racist person, I'm just not. They are, yes, but how am I supposed to help them ever? By cutting them off? No. Like, I get it. You guys can think in black and white, but that's not how it works over here. The thing is,
Yeah.
like,
Right.
I was raised.
So if I hang out with a bunch of racists, it don't mean I'm racist, okay? Let's see if more context will help.
in a very religious family. Unfortunately, there are people in my family that are. There are people in my family that are bigoted.
Okay.
There are
right.
people in my family that are. There's people in my family that are like.
Family is different, though. Some tells me this topic isn't about a family member. Family is different. You can't choose your family, but you can choose your friends. And if you're an influencer, an online celebrity, whatever the fuck, you can choose who you platform and who you collab with. So let's not equate friends and business associates to family. That's different.
But I still love my family, right? And I still know that there are that members of my family have good qualities.
Sure.
All right, so did you follow that? She's talking about a family member.
I think so.
And like they have views that are
Rossi's
or transphobe, whatever it
Yeah.
could be. And she's like, I'm going to stick by them, even if I disagree vehemently with their opinion.
Okay. All
My
right.
stepbrother is trans.
Wow.
And my dad refuses to use the correct pronouns. And it drives me crazy. And it drives my stepbrother crazy, of course. But I've had to say to my dad, Dad, you know it's not going to hurt you. It's not going to hurt you to say the correct pronouns, but it does hurt him when you say the wrong ones.
Right.
You know what the difference is I'm able to have this conversation with my dad because I'm open-minded and we love each other. My stepbrother just says fuck off and won't talk to my dad. So there's no progress being made. Sorry for the
I feel like it's a
feel.
no. Don't be sorry. Don't be sorry. It's like, again, it's like one of those things where it's like, dang, like it is like a hard thing because again, like there's definitely people in my family as well that like are like pretty Trumpy and like
Pretty Trumpy. But
It's
the
sped
clip
up.
goes viral. Cutie actually asked her to delete the stream because, you know, a lot of people knew how the clips would look. So they were like trying to do damage control. But
Okay.
internet, bitch, it lives forever.
Right.
Anyways, she apologizes afterwards because it goes viral.
Wait, hold on. She apologized for what?
You're about to find out. You're about to find out. You're impatient, bro.
I'm really sorry. Like, I've heard what a lot of people are saying, and I am sorry for the hurt that I've caused people. If you don't want this apology, then it's not for you. And clearly you're not hurt, but I'm apologizing to people that I've hurt, and that's important to me. So if you're a part of the queer community and I've hurt you, I am sorry. If you are a person of color who I've hurt, I am sorry. The way I was wording things was very like irresponsible and wrong.
Right.
I understand why it was hurtful. I've read the comments, believe it or not.
What?
I'm old.
You're old?
I'm old. Who's
So
that?
this is one of her best friends. Her name is Valkyrie.
I did tell her, I was like, Cutie, I do think your tone doesn't help because you inherently sound really angry all the time. You sound really, and she knows. I was like, you're very blunt. I think it's your tone, you're blunt, and it just comes off poorly, especially, you know, and
I mean, she didn't sound angry in that clip earlier when she was just saying, hey, you know what I'm saying? If my dad's racist, I'm not going to cut him off just because he's racist, right? I'm going to try and educate him and help him to understand why his bigotry is wrong. And I can respect that and I understand that. But again, there's a difference between who you choose to keep as your friends and your family. You know what I'm saying?
I was like, you're also the whitest woman I know.
Like, I can't keep no friends with no coons, bro. I can't keep friends with any bigots, honestly. Like, I might be able to be, you know what I'm saying, friendly. Like, if you call me, depending on what it is, I might pick up the phone. But We can't be like that close. You know what I'm saying? If I know that you stand for shit that I think is hurting people and hurting society. You feel me?
Bitch, you're transparent.
And I definitely can't collab with you or platform you or anything like that. That's me personally. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy.
Also,
Wow, I'm sorry.
To be fair, the screen is making it worse. If you see her
blasted.
here, she looks more Filipino-ish.
Carry on, my bad.
and it also is just, you know, you being so white. It doesn't help. It doesn't help.
Her being so white is a mistake. She should fix that.
Her heart. But I know her. I know
Right. She
her
needs to work on that, I guess.
heart. It's just because she wants to help, but I feel like there's ways we can do it better.
So what are you saying, my girl? You're saying that she said something f***ed up and you're going to stand by her and explain to her what she did, which is exactly what the fuck the other chick did. Am I getting this wrong?
Well, the difference is QT Cinderella herself isn't a bigot. You know what I mean? So this other chick, I missed her name here. It's not the same. It's not the same. QT's literally saying, yeah, transphobes, racists, homophobes, sexists. Just because you believe in those things don't mean we can't be cool, don't mean we can't be friends, right? I'm going to try and tell you why you're wrong if the topic ever comes back up, but we can be cool. Doesn't mean that I agree with all of the things that you're saying. To me, that's bullshit. That's bullshit. If I see you rolling around racist, bro, then you a raccoon. That's what it's got to be. If I see you hanging around racist, I can't be cool with you because you racist. Why else would you hang around racist? You feel me? But family is different. We don't choose our family. You pull up to Thanksgiving, you know what I'm saying? You try to not even talk about that shit, to be real with you. That's what you do. You try to avoid those topics. But if it comes up, if you're someone of integrity and good character, you raise your voice and say, well, here's why I disagree with you. You know what I mean? I really believe in not turning your back on family. But friends and business associates, that's a whole other thing, man.
You're doing great.
She's not a fake ally. Do not say that. Do not say that. Her co-host is gay. Hello? She has gay friends.
Yes, she
okay?
has
I
black
think
friends
that-
too. That's never been an excuse. But what did she do? Nobody here explained it. You see all these fuckers? You see all these? You don't see them. You just see him.
I feel like I explained why people were upset with her.
But all these fuckers are here, including him. Nobody's explaining me
I think
what the f did she do?
Let's get Asmongold. I'm not a big fan of this rat, but
Yeah,
he had a
same.
take on this, and I think it's part of the conversation.
Rat, you said?
Part of the reason why she's receiving backlash is because she's being so white.
Context. One of the most popular and most progressive streamers is getting cancelled for saying this.
In my family that are, there are people in my family that are, but I still love my family. And what's most important to get people to love other people is to love them.
She right.
But my father is at times. I don't support that. Period. The end. But I still love my dad and I'll go to coffee with him tomorrow. But I don't support that.
She's getting canceled for being normal.
You're also the whitest woman I know. You know, you being so white. It doesn't help.
The fact is that a lot of the people that are hating on Cutie do genuinely hate white people. I hate when white people say the dumbest shit then try to act innocent.
Okay.
You know what, my girl? Look,
okay.
QT Cinderella, you know what you should do? You should call my man, Stevie J. He will.
How is Asmongold finding a way to play the victim? Oh, these people hate white people. No, this is a very normal thing. Like, it ain't even about white people. Like, I'm not hanging out with black people that are cool with racists. You feel me?
JCB 9th, whatever, this guy, the cowboy, all right? Cowboy prince on a horse. He's going to come and save you.
See, the problem is why I think people are taking issue is because this is some fence riding bullshit, bro. You say you stand for, let's say you stand for being pro-black, but at the same time, you trying to be cool with niggas like Aiden Ross, and you trying to be cool with people like fucking that Chop nigga. What do you name again? Cuff'em, right? You trying to be cool with raccoons and Myron Gaines and all these like anti-black people, but you're like, oh, I disagree with them, and I'm always telling them. You know who is a perfect example? Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A. Smith tells everybody he's a Democrat, tells everyone he votes Democrat, he supports the Democrat side, but he's always chucking and jiving and smiling with people like Sean Hannity and all of these conservative people. What you're trying to do is appeal to both sides of the aisle. You want to be cool with everybody. And people caught that. That's what QT Cinderella was essentially setting up. She wants to train her audience to think that if you see me collabing or streaming with people who have problematic views, which I'm trying to do so that I can grow my career, don't use that to evaluate my commitment to these things that I say I care about, because I'm just trying to be a kind person, when in all reality, they're just trying to have broad appeal.
Well, I understand why she cares. She's around people who are from these communities who are probably hurt by the stuff that she said. So her saying I could care less probably is not a good idea. I think it's okay to her say I disagree, but if you have people from these communities and they are bothered by what you say, you should care. Doesn't mean you should agree with them. Doesn't mean you should bow down or whatever, but
You could see in the clips. You know who I am. You know what I stand for. If you're someone who's been watching me, then you already fucking know. If you're a first-time fucking chatter and you're just joining off of clips that you've seen on TikTok and you don't know shit about me or that you're going to make. But people who know me and know my character and know what I stand for, know how I'm going to go about this.
This is what happens. They will throw you under the bus in a second.
I am telling you right now that I did not agree with that, okay? I'm telling you right now that I did not agree with that.
She literally was so nice to us. I'm so confused. And now she's agreeing with people and that she's uncomfortable with what Cutie's saying?
Yep,
what is...
Yeah, bro. She switched up on you real quick because she don't give a fuck about you. She only went to your event, man, because you're popular. Let me tell y'all something. This is for anybody like Ray or Cutie Cinderella, any of these people. This audience of weird, mentally ill losers are not the only people on the internet. You might...
That's ironic. That's ironic because, well, let me not go there.
Think that there's a lot of them because they're all liking each other's stuff and they're very coordinated, but there's actually a very small amount of them. You don't have to live in according to what the most uncharitable take is towards what you believe. Stop living in the shadow and stop being a slave to these freaks.
Listen, you don't got to be racist. It's not hard. You don't got to be a bigot. It's not hard. You can just not give a fuck about, just mind your own fucking business and go through your life and not hate on people because of how they were born or where they're from or how they look or who they like to fuck. Like that's easy, bro. It's easy to do. So yeah, it's not a hard ask to say, hey, is it cool if you don't hang out with neo-Nazis? Is that cool? Like, I can't be friends with you if you chummy with neo-Nazis.
So thoughts?
You look like you took a shower.
I don't know about that, Chief.
I still don't understand what the fuck she did wrong.
Well, they think it's bad that she's keeping her in her life because it's like family. Imagine your stepbrothers feeling that you're still spending all this time with this person who's constantly belittling his existence.
And it's okay.
What is okay?
To keep that person in her life.
Speak on that, because you understand now. Finally.
No, I don't understand.
You've been waiting all fucking night, bro.
No,
You finally caught up on this nerd streamer shit?
That's one of the only chances, one of the few chances that person that is belittling her stepbrother has to change their mind. Is if that person is speaking to them calmly. Or trying to let me spoon feed you that shit so that you can understand. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Casting people away sometimes they don't understand. They just think that, well, you're right.
Has anyone ever changed the mind of a family member that has their heels dug into some kind of fucked up ideology? I feel like people need to go on their own journey. And you know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I don't know how, clearly it's not working, right? She's saying that her dad continues to be bigoted against her stepbrother or brother-in-law or whatever the fuck. Right? It doesn't work. It doesn't work. So I'm not saying cut off family members because they hold harmful beliefs. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying, oh, don't go to Thanksgiving no more. Although I wouldn't wrong you if you didn't, personally. Like, if you honestly can't stand it because it's just so much. Because some of these people, they're obsessed with this shit. They're not just bigoted, but they're always talking about it. You know what I'm saying? You fucking talking about the new Superman movie, all of a sudden, this nigga talking about fucking, you know what I'm saying, trans people. It's like, how the fuck you do that? So if you want to stay away from people like that, I completely get that. I think the real reason this whole shit came up is because a lot of these streamers who pretend to stand for something or say they stand for something still try to be cool with people on the other side of the aisle because they want more clout. But how can you be saying that these things, these ideas are so dangerous and harmful to society, but then be friends with people like that? And I think her audience saw through that shit because obviously everyone has family that you don't agree with on everything. And they're your family. There's nothing you can do about that.
That's how you radicalize people. But if you spoon feed, you understand the person, you're like, hey, I understand where you're coming from, but let me show another perspective, and you talk it down to some people. You don't always have to yell at people to make your point and yell at them and then call them names and stuff. Sometimes it's just like, hey, remember that shit you did? Yeah. It's like whenever you raise kids. Yeah, but he's a grown ass man. Yeah, but for that topic, he's a kid. He's new to the concept. You understand? Sometimes, yes, you can yell at a kid, but always yell at a kid is not the right way to make them understand things or make them grow. Sometimes you sit them down. Hey, you see that dumb shit you did? Yeah. I told you not to do it. Yeah. You did it? Yeah. You got burnt?
Yeah, but what about her tone? Because like her tone, she
what was
just
wrong
seemed
with her
like
tone?
she was just like, I'm gonna stick with this person. Like it is what it is. Like I don't care. I'm gonna keep being nice. Like I guess the issue is that I feel like it was insensitive and not consider the fact that people really are dealing with these people that may even be in her life and they may be impacting their lives. And it's just, she's just like, well, I'm going to stick with them. Like, I'm going to keep being nice.
Yeah.
It's like, it's very dismissive to people who might be suffering and who are marginalized.
Yeah. And I believe that, look, man, this is why they do this in religion. In religion, right? In Christianity, for instance, it says in the Bible, it teaches you, if you have somebody in your life that turns away from Jesus, you're supposed to cut them off. You're supposed to treat them as if they're a stranger. And it's so funny, the people on the right that are criticizing QT Cinderella for apologizing and saying, okay, that was foul, that was fucked up. So many of them claim to be Christians and claim to be Jesus. And so, or not claim to be Jesus, claim to believe in Jesus, or at least align themselves with people who are on the side of Christian nationalism. And so they're hypocrites because that's your people. Your people embrace this kind of ideology. It says it right there in your fucking book. And you know what? It's not bad advice because if you have a person in your life, if they really value your relationship, well, then you restricting that or taking that away from them is going to allow them to reflect and say, damn, like this shit is causing me to lose friends. Maybe I should reflect on these beliefs and see if there is some modification or some altering that needs to happen, or maybe I need to abandon them altogether.
Yeah, see, I got you speechless because I did my thing.
The point is that if you keep them around and you're not talking about anything, you're just like letting them be. No, she's actually having the conversation with them. Like, hey, by the way, she's clocking them. Who else is going to do that? So what do you want? You want us to not ever have interaction with those people that don't think like you? Never. So you don't have interactions with them. They cut them off. How are they supposed to evolve? That seed that you planted grew and I was able to change. How? If nobody talks to them, they're going to stay in the echo chamber and you're going to stay in your echo chamber and everybody sees to the, so segregation. You're woke, but you want segregation. Not by color, of course, but segregation by way of thinking. Is that what's going on? Just yell at them and mess them up. That's what we want.
Nobody say you got to yell at them. Nobody say you got to call them names.
Yeah. Talking with people, talking it out with people, having conversations, sitting down people. That's how you're able to change. You had that guy that you spoke about, I think it was like 2 streams ago, that was talking to all those KKK members and was able to turn them and just give me your robe. He was able to talk to them.
Davis is one of the few African Americans you will ever find attending a KKK rally. More than attending, he is welcome.
I got more respect for that black man than I do you white out there.
Right, okay, that's some progress right there. You white N-words. But hey, here's a difference, I would say. This is a good point Preach is making, but here's a difference. This man is engaging in activism. You feel me? Let's give him the benefit of the doubt and just say this is a solid black man who's pro-black that is trying to infiltrate these white supremacist spaces and try to re-educate them. And he's actually making progress. And if that's what's going on here, good for him. Okay, we don't know if he's a raccoon that centers whiteness and is trying to build a bridge through Jesus, but these people aren't really changing their ways and changing their minds. But let's give him the benefit of the doubt. This is activism. This is very different than you choosing to keep close ties or connections with people who are bigoted against, you know what I'm saying, what you stand for. Right? That's a completely different thing of like, oh yeah, you know, I'm friends with this person. I stream with this person. I collab with this person. I know they're a racist. I know they're a homophobe. I know they're a sexist. I know. And it's not just that these are their beliefs internally, but it really becomes problematic if these are beliefs that they are pushing or sharing and promoting online. If that's the case, but because you just don't want to, you know, cut everybody off because I'm a kind person, I think that's bullshit personally. So there's a difference between, I don't know if this black man would consider these people good friends. I don't know that. We don't know that. We'll, you know, if he does, then I would say that's nasty, but he's probably just engaging in activism, trying to change hearts and minds. And I think that's different.
I'm a far right man to hell on back, because I believe in what he stands for and he believes in what I stand for. A lot of times we don't agree with everything, but at least he respects me.
He believes in what you stand for? Huh? What?
Sit down and listen to me.
A black man was able to talk with people from the KKK and be able to, hey, you know what? If you change your mind, give me your robe. Up to 200 robes or something like that he has in his closets, right next to Myron.
Listen, and let's not beat around the bush. Pretty much all bigotry is grounded in Christianity, bro. Homophobia, sexism, racism even is all grounded in Christianity and Christian tradition and Christian culture. And so that's why, because what is the logic behind hating gay people? Honestly, without Christianity, if Christianity isn't true, if these Abrahamic religions aren't true, and there is no angry God sitting up in the sky ready to burn you in hell forever because you're gay or because you're trans or because you're black. I mean, that's what some of these Christian nationalists seem to believe. You must think black people are children of the devil, which is why you're okay treating them so poorly. But outside of Christian culture, what is the justification for being bigoted against gay people, for having a problem with gay people? There is none, honestly. You might not get it. You might not be into it, right? You might not be able to relate to it, but there are all kinds of things you don't relate to that you don't hate just because you can't relate to them or because you don't understand it. And so that's why it's so difficult to change people's minds on this shit, because it's not grounded in logic. It's grounded in belief and religiosity. The reason I'm not bigoted anymore is because I deconstructed Christianity and Christian culture. I didn't have to have any conversations with women, with gay people, with anybody that I was bigoted against in order to destroy those evil and toxic beliefs. It just came by coming to the understanding and realization that the religion of Christianity, in my opinion, is not based on, the Bible was not written by God. It was not inspired by God. It was written by men who wrote things that reflected their culture and what was normal at the time. And I'm sure if I lived in the time when the Bible was written, pretty much everything in it, I would believe wholeheartedly. Shit, there are things that I'm probably doing today or that I believe today that 100, 200 years from now, people are going to think are bigoted and old-fashioned. Maybe there will come a point in time where we'll look at eating animals, for instance, as some kind of evil thing. Who knows? Once upon a time, the age of 14 or 16 being the age of consent seemed like a very normal and healthy tradition. And so I'm not going to judge my great-grandfather who may have been in his 20s and married a 15-year-old girl the way that I would judge a guy in his 20s today who is trying to court a 15-year-old girl.
I'll give that to you.
Yeah, okay. No, you still speak to them. You said love. How could you love a racist? So dad. Yeah. Anyways, whatever. Maybe I'm fucking crazy.
You're not crazy. I think that if someone...
Sometimes the most loving thing we can do is stop enabling people's bad behavior by removing ourselves from them.
didn't want to keep someone like that in their life, they're justified.
They need to feel that. They need to lose friends. They need to lose close connections with family members for them to reflect and think, man, you know what I'm saying? Am I fucked up? Am I wrong? What? I mean, maybe I'll look into it.
Like, you don't have to keep family members or people close to you because they have bigoted views. That's a very reasonable take to have, in my opinion. And I think it's also reasonable to be the other way. Both things can coexist. I think it's interesting that people are like, white people, I can't believe, like,
First of all,
I
you're
know
so
damn
white.
well your immigrant parents got bigoted views. Like, all of our parents did. If yours don't, you're a f***ing liar, okay? They all have something either against the specific genders, ethnicities. I mean, most of us can probably go to
I wouldn't say any of my family has any bigoted views against people because of their ethnicity or race or anything like that. But definitely the Christianity shit has bred a lot of bigotry in my culture against gay people, for instance. And even there are some, you know, maybe you even find some sexist beliefs, possibly. Although my dad is actually pretty progressive where that is concerned. The only thing he ain't fucking with is the gay shit, bro. He's Jamaican. He's in his 50s. You know what I'm saying? That ain't probably going nowhere. But he ain't even like... But even in that situation, he has made a lot of progress. Dad, you know I love you. I remember this one time. I went to a pride parade. This was back in college. I had a female friend who was a lesbian, and I was a videographer. You know, well, I'm a YouTuber now, right? But it started off with me playing around with cameras. And she asked me, she said, hey, me and some of my friends are going to a pride parade. Could you come and like make a vlog for us? And so I did that. And I posted that shit on YouTube. My dad saw that shit. He called me because his Jamaican friends on Facebook, they seen the video. And they're calling him and asking him like, yo, I didn't know your son was gay, because they saw me at a pride parade. You know what I mean? Meanwhile, all my life, I've had nothing but girlfriends. You know what I'm saying? And my dad posts that shit on Facebook too. And so my dad calls me. He's like, yo, son, what's going on? I'm seeing you at a pride parade, da-da-da-da-da-da. And he's like, are you gay? I was like, nigga, what the fuck you talking about? No, I'm not gay, Dad. What the fuck? He was like, I was like, so Dad, if I was gay, what would you do? And basically, he was like, I'd disown you. That's a Jamaican father for you. But that was like 11 years ago. If I asked my dad the same shit today, you know what he would say? He would probably be like, oh, well, you know, I don't agree with that. You know what I'm saying? He probably wouldn't want any of his male descendants bringing a boyfriend over to Thanksgiving. But I don't think he would go so far as to say, oh, well, I disown that person. Like, they not my kid no more. They not my grandchild no more, anything like that. And so even there, he's made a lot of progress. And I think that is from, one, the fact that he's not religious, and two, living in America, living in New York, which is a very progressive city and a progressive state.
I mean, most of us can probably go to our parents, name one ethnicity, and your parents are going to go off. 95% of them, they're going to go off if it's Indians. We all know that, right? So, that's just normalized nowadays. I'm just be honest. And I think that's also true for a specific set of culture or people from a specific tribe or religion. Shit, if you're a Muslim and you bring up Shiites, I know plenty of Muslim parents. Well, poof, and they're going to start spitting. My mom. Love you, Mom, if you're watching.
First time you met me, hey.
Yeah.
She thought I was moving.
Now, people are going to make the argument, hey, well, it's different. You know, white people systems are like, But on a micro scale, I think using that to people and expecting them or being upset at them because they didn't abandon their parents is a bit ridiculous, in my opinion. Personally, I think this is a terminally online thing. That's why you see most of these responses on Twitter and all these goofy-ass places. Like, it's not a reasonable thing to think that people are going to look at people from previous generations who didn't grow up on the internet like we did and be like, bitch, you're it. Yes, everyone in my generation is. To be honest with you, like, oh, shit, I've heard some things from immigrant parents that are like,
oh, 100%.
Not using the right pronouns, you think that's bad?
Oh, wow.
Not using the right, just check your favorite streamer. Go talk to their parents. I promise you, it probably goes much harder than that shit.
I completely agree with this, but is that really what people are taking issue with, that you don't cut off your family completely if they have bigoted views? I've already expressed what I think the real issue here is, but yeah, no, that's ridiculous. You don't stop going to Christmas. You don't stop doing Thanksgiving. You don't not pick up the phone. just because they have some bigoted views that are reflective of their culture and their generation. I do think that it is a noble thing when those topics come up, you try to educate them. But, you know, some people, they're too far gone. You know what I'm saying? As they say, it's very hard to teach an old dog new tricks. But I think what people really have a problem with are online influencers collabing with, platforming, you know what I'm saying, being just very friendly with, co-signing people that hold beliefs that are literally the opposite of the shit you preach. And I think that's what most people are upset with. QT Cinderella, she tried to pull some cute shit, no pun intended, try to pull some cute shit and frame it as if, oh, look, I'm being a kind person by not being friends with these people just because I don't agree with them. Yeah, something tells me if there isn't clout that is associated with that person, you probably wouldn't feel the same way about them. And that's what people saw, and that's why people were pushing back against her, in my opinion. So you guys heard what I think. You heard what Abba and Preach thought. Now it's your turn. You let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching. And until next time, peace out.